4 different players have been working at first base. There's a player who was injured during the fall who looks fantastic and says she's pain-free. And someone inside the OU softball program is raving about what this team has looked like since returning from Christmas break. When it comes to OU softball, I've got great news for you today, as Patty Gasso recently joined the Plank Show on the Ref, and she broke down what she's seen from this team during the first week back at practice. And trust me, there's a lot to like. Let's jump into what Patty said, starting with how impressed she's been with this group early on.
When they came back, when we started, I literally just got back from Australia, so I'm walking in like a zombie. But I've heard Joe Padula, our strength coach, and this is what I gear it off of, is he's telling me this is the best, strongest group, or the best team that I've seen come back after the holidays in my time, like anywhere. So
wow.
That was very, very pleasing, because he's been with a lot of different, baseball programs, actually. So I felt really good about that. When I put him on the field, I just kind of picked up where we left off, and so did they. They're going to be a little bit sore, and they have the weekend to get over that, but we went after it right away. And so we've been doing 2-a-days this week, and they love that. They just love that. It's hard for them, but I've seen some really good things I'm really pleased with. I believe they've all done some things over the break.
This goes back to something I've said over and over again. And maybe you're tired of hearing me say it by now, but this team is truly locked in. Now, that's not unique for an OU softball team, but this group feels confident and they feel extremely hungry. And that combination, lethal, extremely dangerous. And spoiler alert, it's also why I think this team is extremely capable of winning a national championship this season. None of that is surprising, but it's also extremely encouraging. Next, Plank asked Patty if Cassidy Pickering is a first baseman.
I don't know that she wants to play first, and that has a lot to do with a lot of things. If they're not comfortable there, I put her there occasionally at practice. Sometimes I had to put her there when we were in our games. One, because I wanted to see it, and we practiced it a little bit, but also I didn't have a lot of options, so I needed her at times. But I think she's trying to improve herself in the outfield, and her arm strength has changed.
Gotcha.
And I've noticed that this week.
Interesting that Patty started off by saying, I don't know that she wants to play first. I think that tells you something. Could Pick still see time at first base this season? Yeah, I think so, sure. But this sounds like someone who's going to play mostly in the outfield. That's my takeaway. Maybe she DPs a little bit as well. But the comment about her arm strength changing, I think that's a very, very big deal. Real quick, if you haven't already hit the like button on this video, please do so. It helps me out a ton. And to help yourself out, if you want free year-round coverage of OU softball, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. All right, back to it. So if that's the comment about Pick, who's actually in the mix at first base? According to Patty, it's a real battle.
Maybe one of those players can't beat somebody out somewhere, but I need their offense in the lineup. So I've got training right now for first basemen.
Wow.
I've got Alyssa Parker, who is a big, big hitter. She also pitches. Lexi McDaniel had a great fall, big hitter. I've thrown Pickering there. Sydney Barker has been there. There's a lot of people that are trying to win that spot because there's so many good players, especially great hitters on this team, that I'm trying to give them opportunities to find a spot.
I thought that was very revealing. To me, it confirms that Alyssa Parker is absolutely a threat to win that first base job. Sydney Barker is there, and she might be the front runner, but this spot could, as Patty said, come down to just who gives you the most offense, which bat you have to have in the lineup. And then with all of that, there's Lexi McDaniel, and I think she could be your everyday second baseman in 2027 after Ilana Agbayani is gone. But as a freshman, her bat might force her way into the lineup sooner rather than later. We absolutely saw flashes of incredible play from Lexi McDaniel in the fall, and I don't think we're even close to seeing her ceiling just yet. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see multiple players at first base early in the season. In fact, I expect it, and all the names we just mentioned, I bet in the first 2 weeks of the season, you could see all those players get significant time at that spot. Next, Patty talked about which positions are locked in and which one are maybe still up for grabs.
I think the left side of the infield is going to be hard to beat out. Ilana Agbayani is someone that people are not talking about, and I think she's the best second baseman I've seen in the country. She is very, very good. So those three positions are locked, I would say. There's a battle behind the plate. Watch out for Kendall Wells, but Kendall Wells has made Bella Emmerling better. So that's been nice to see that challenge with each other. And Kai Miner is one of the faster players we've seen in the outfield. So there are some battles in the outfield, that's for sure. But Ella Parker has elevated her game out there. And Pickering has elevated her game out there, so it's going to be tough, but it's going to be by committee. We're going to really try.
No surprises on the infield. I dare anyone to find a better infielder trio than Nelly, Gabby, and Ilana. I don't think you can, but take your shot in the comments. I also love hearing about Kendall Wells pushing Bella Emmerling. Catcher just feels much deeper than it did a year ago. That's important. And then in the outfield, it sounds like there's a lot to sort through, and that's a good problem. Not a bad problem whatsoever, because you've got a lot of options. Different players will get chances early. Roles, of course, will evolve and change as the season goes on. But again, the best part is whoever you put out there, whatever combination you want, every single one of those players can play, and they can play at a high level. Now, let's talk about pitching, because Patty sounds really excited about what she has in the circle.
Really, really good. Audrey Lowry is really moving up, and her game has changed in a great way. Sydney Berzon had some injury problems in the fall, and she came out yesterday. We're working ground balls, and she threw a ball to first like 100 miles an hour. I'm like, what was that? She goes, I feel great. I feel no pain. I'm like, okay, wow. So her and Miley, Chino, I still don't say her last name right.
You got it. You nailed it with Chino. You nailed it.
So, yeah, those guys have been doing great, all of them. And then Alyssa Parker's a two-way player, which we haven't had in a while. So not all of them are going to be part of this. All of them have a role. This staff is going to be really, really solid. And we've got lefties. KD is up her game as well, Kirsten Deal.
Hey, I've been on the Audrey Lowry breakout year train since the end of last season, and I ain't slowing down now, trust me. It really feels like Audrey Lowry has put herself in a position for a huge year. And maybe not just one of the best pitchers on this staff, possibly even one of the better arms in the SEC. I think that those are the types of things that we could be talking about with Audrey Lowry here with this upcoming season. And then hearing that Sydney Berzon feels healthy and confident, like, that's massive. That's exactly what this staff needs. Throw in Wachenio, KD trending up, Alyssa Parker as a two-way. This group is deep, and you can hear the optimism in Patty's voice. But I love Sydney Berzon feels the best. Sounds like she feels the best that she has in a long time. That's what she hoped when she signed. That's what the staff hoped that when she signed, that come January, she would feel the best, maybe the most confident she has in quite some time. That's big, big news for this staff. Here's one more general thought from Patty about this OU softball team.
The pieces are all coming together. This is going to be a fun season. I think our fans are going to have a blast because there's some hard hitters on this team. This lineup is going to be stout. Pitchers are going to be able to fill that too.
Now, I didn't need Patty Gasso to get me excited for the upcoming season. I was already there. But hearing her excited, it does hit a little different. It does get me even more excited for the upcoming season. So though it feels close, just hearing Patty get excited, it's like, come on, man. Let's get to the start of the season. I cannot wait. Last thing, here's Patty talking about Alyssa Brito, who was just recently named the MVP of the USA Softball Down Under Series in Australia. Happy for her success. And here's Patty telling a cool story about Alyssa with USA Softball.
Alyssa Brito, I asked her if she could fill in when we had the camp with all the USA players that are like on the roster, and Alyssa Brito was not. So I just asked the committee, can I use Alyssa Brito to fill in different places, because we were missing a few position players. So I say, okay, we're all lining up. Anybody who plays third, line up. There's Brito. I'm just ripping ground balls at these guys. Anybody at short, get to short. There goes Brito to short. Anyone at second, go to second. There goes Brito. Left field, right field, center field. I'm not kidding you. She was balling out. And she's a sub. Her and Riley Ledlam were kind of helping out. So Brito was a sub, but she's jumping in. And the committee at the end of that is like, Brito needs to be in this pool, this USA pool. I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want people to think I'm trying to get my own players on, and they were adamant, like, yes, she needs to go to Australia. She needs to be part of this team. And then she gets out to Australia and wins the MVP of the weekend. And it was pretty amazing to watch what she's trying to do. Very passionate and just can play anywhere, which has really become, with USA Softball, that's really, really important. So she showed herself well and found herself in part of this group of 32 players.
Again, please like the video if you haven't already, and also please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Our growing community, OU Softball is what we do here, all for free. As always, guys, thank you for watching.